it stopped one time and just looked at her, stared her down for like a minute, it seemed like. And she was good. She did not move. It went ahead and went out there about another 15, 20 feet and stopped and was displaying, coming up to the Jake and everything. And then finally, it kind of got a little nervous. And so I whispered to her, I said, "You better kill it." And then in just about 15, 20 seconds, I just put a big old bleep on the call and it poked its head up and she smoked it.
Welcome to the LandTrust Podcast, where land, technology, and the outdoors meet. Whether you're a landowner, an outdoor enthusiast, or someone curious about the future of recreation on private land, you're in the right place. Each episode, we share real stories from the LandTrust community, from unforgettable guest experiences to conversations with landowners about their land and why they choose to share it, plus interviews with leaders, shaping how we all experience the outdoors. And now, here's your host, Nick DeCastro.
Today, we're headed to Idaho, where Hasselstrom Farms once again hosted a trip that turned into something special. This episode is part of our 5-Star Stories series, where we dive into unforgettable moments shared between guests and landowners through LandTrust. Our guest, Mike Lammers, returned with his wife for their second spring turkey hunt. And not only did they have a successful outing, bagging a couple toms, but they also brought some incredible lamb and beef from the farm that made the whole trip even more memorable. Let's get into it today. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You've obviously got a beautiful backdrop to your podcast screen there. So where are you based? And maybe give me a little bit of background on yourself.
Carrie and I grew up in Idaho our whole lives. We're in southern Idaho, down close to the Nevada border. And we both retired about 5-6 years ago. We went all through the school systems here local and worked here our whole lives. And so we're just based right out here at the Twin. And we like to travel and do hunting. And so that's kind of our bio.
That's awesome. And you got quite the trophy room behind you. So it looks like you got what, red stag up there, fallow deer. You've been around.
Yeah, we've been to Africa, been to Scotland, and quite a few different places, around the States, Texas and such. So, and a lot of turkey hunting, different places. So yeah, we enjoy it.
That's great.
Both outdoors people, so we really enjoy getting to the outdoors, and our kids are the same, So,
that's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So, I guess this is your second time with the Hasselstroms, but how did you first hear about LandTrust?
I got on just checking out different places. I kind of looked different places to hunt and fish and to recreate. We do a lot of camping and stuff, and I just come across the LandTrust site, and so it was kind of intriguing. I got to looking at different things, and then I punched in Idaho, and it come up, all the different ones in Idaho. I think at that time, I can't remember, there might have been, this is a couple years ago, there might have been 20 or 30, but now I think there's more. And so I just started clicking on some stuff because I kind of got into turkey hunting, probably 5-6 years ago. And his little deal come up, the hunting for the turkey. And so I clicked on it and got to looking at it. And he had pictures on there, turkeys and some of the land and stuff. And so I told Carrie, I said, "Hey, I said, that's pretty dang close up here." I said, let's try to make a trip of that. And what's kind of unique is Carrie's sister and her husband live in New Meadows, which is a little more than halfway. So we just decided we'd go up there and stop and visit them and then go hunting and then turn around and come back. And it panned out, and we just had a ball. It was great. So that's kind of awesome. How we found it, just, on the web searching.
Yep. That's great. So you caught the turkey bug. I don't know. Do you have the full disease? Because there's some people, I just did a podcast with a fellow LandTrust sportsman. He's a retired Southside Chicago cop, and he's like going for all 50 states. So he's got the sickness. So I don't know if you got the sickness, but
I've got the sickness. I don't know. I'm probably about 75%, on the sickness. And we've had a bunch of them mounted. I've got them here in my trophy room. And Carrie, the one she got this year, we're going to do a feather art. So, on the board with all the feathers.
That's cool. Yeah.
So yeah, we got the sickness. She's got the boat because this was her first kill this year.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so great. Well, yeah, I'd love to hear. Give us a little bit of rundown. Kind of how did this time go? This is your second year in a row. It sounded like. So how did the hunt go?
Oh, it went great. Let me back up just a minute if I can.
Sure.
The first hunt that we went up there, we pull our trailer up there, and
great. Yeah.
and we just Sheila and Eric were just so accommodating. We parked up there by their barn and plugged in and had our own little space, and she wasn't successful the first year. She had a couple opportunities but couldn't put it together. But anyway, on our second hunt, when we got up there, it was just kind of like home week because we already knew the people,
right? Yeah.
And they've got a busy ranch and farm that they operate, and so we pulled up there and talked to them for a minute, and I says, well, can we park where we were before? She said, oh yeah, just help yourself. So we parked and plugged in, got our camp all set up, and that first morning we went out. Actually, let me back up again. We in the afternoon before the hunt, Eric stopped in. He says, hey, I want to show you some other property to the south here that you guys didn't hunt before. And I said, right on, that's cool. So we hopped in the pickup and he took us all around to this other property, and I'm thinking, man, this is a place to be, And so that next morning we got up early and went down to the end of the property. I knew there was turkeys in there because I saw a sign. We kind of walked around, the day before,
right?
Saw a sign and stuff, and so we got down there and we were walking up the road that he's got a farm on one side and it's kind of a wooded tree area on the other side. We're walking up the road and it's kind of up a hill, and I saw a fan right on the horizon, a turkey fan.
Nice.
And Carrie, she got really super excited, and I said, let's just sit down right here. So we sat down kind of on the edge of the road there, and I pulled out my call, and coming to find out there was 2 toms and a hen. And so I just started clucking and purring a little bit, and that Tom, he come right to us, man. He thought there was another girlfriend there, And so anyway, he come down there and he put on a good show for her, and it finally got close enough to where she, put the shot on him and got him bagged. And she was super happy. It was really, really an exciting moment for her. So yeah, it worked out.
And a pretty big bird, right? I think it was a pretty big bird. Looked like a pretty big bird.
Those birds up there, shoot, they're, I'd say pushing 20 pounds, 18,
wow.
20 pounds. They're nice, big Merriams. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So she was super excited. So that was.
And so she was the first one. She was the first one to kill.
She did the first kill. Yep. And that was her first turkey ever. So yeah.
Oh, that's a special moment.
Yeah.
And then you were able to connect too, correct?
Yeah. In the evening, we went back and took care of her bird and everything, and had lunch and just kicked around camp and enjoyed the scenery around there and everything. And then we went back out in the evening and we roosted some birds. So we knew where they were going to be for the following morning. And so we went out the next morning and we spotted these birds and got into them and called the tom that I shot in with a decoy, and we killed that one. So yeah, it was a good.
That's awesome.
Bird. Yeah.
I just got back from a turkey camp with a bunch of buddies who are kind of running other companies in the space, and it reinforced the point: you got to shoot them in the face because they can take a lot of lead. I shot one, and I just didn't shoot him in the face. I shot him in the body, and he just ran off. They can take a lot of lead.
Yeah, they got a lot of protective coat on there. Their feathers are like Kevlar.
They really are, man. It's crazy. They can take it. So I tell my daughter's like, "Did you get one, Daddy?" I'm like, "I didn't shoot him in the face."
Yeah.
So that was my fault. But that's great. And then so it's funny. I actually when the Hasselstroms first came on, enlisted on LandTrust a couple years ago. I think we might have been one of the first groups out there. And we went out, and it was summertime. We just were driving through to the coast, and I was living in Bozeman at the time. But such a great family. So we actually, some of the photos on there is us with our pull behind trailer. And
Oh, good.
yeah, it wasn't hunting season, but they showed us the place. We camped out there, and great hospitality. But they showed us the sheep operation. We got to meet the sheep dogs, and then we got lamb, and the lamb was like incredible. And they were telling us about all the wool and everything. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys have discovered their lamb and their beef too.
Oh man, when we were up there, prior to, last year, we were talking about, their operation and the Winchester Ridge farm part of it, the lambs and beef and stuff. And so about 2 months, about 2 months before we actually went up, I contacted Sheila and I said, hey, could I get a lamb ordered, cut and wrapped and everything? And then when I come up hunting, I said, it'd be perfect. I could just, take it home and it worked perfect. And they are awesome. It's not
so good.
Anything like you buy in the store. All the store stuff we buy here comes from Australia and
New Zealand and Australia. Yeah.
It's different. But anyway, we purchased some beef too from them. From their cattle operation, which is awesome. It's really good. But
it's one of the cool things about building this business is I love both sides. We get to often say we're blessed to be able to work in the business of lifelong memories and kind of like preserving legacies. And most of our landowners are multi-generation farm and ranch operations, just like the Hasselstroms. And seeing that connection between the guests who come out there, and then, not only are they getting to enjoy the outdoors that these landowners kind of steward, but also that kind of connection of buying, beef or these other things directly from those ranchers, which is great for them too. They make more money when that happens versus selling in kind of the commodity markets. And so that connectivity is awesome, and we see more and more of that happening.
Yeah, it's really a neat thing that they got going there, and that little town where they're at. I mean, it's just like home week when you get in there. I mean, the people, they're small town, and everybody's so nice and accommodating. They'll just go out of their way to help you out, which is really nice in that aspect too.
Yeah, definitely. And so you guys have a camper trailer, or what's your RV setup like?
Yeah, we got a 27-foot camp trailer, that we pull, and then that way we can pop it off and hunt out of the pickup, and then we kind of
makes it really nice.
Yeah, we make a trip out of it too, because like I said, Carrie's sister and our brother-in-law live in New Meadows there, so we just make kind of a little trip with it too, stop and see them and enjoy them. We don't get to see them a lot, so spend a few days with them and then hunt a few days and then come back. So yeah, it worked out really good.
Well, that's great. So what subspecies of turkeys have you knocked off, and are you going to try to get all of them, or do you not have that big of a turkey sickness?
No, I've got that in my mind. I've shot an Eastern and a Merriam. I've shot 4 or 5 Merriams, but only one Eastern. Yeah. And funny, now that we're talking about that first turkey that Carrie shot was an Eastern. And then the second one she shot was a Merriam. And we got to get into the second hunt for a minute too. When we're ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But they do have both species up in that northern Idaho country. And
interesting.
So she's got one of each under her belt too.
Quite a trip, huh?
Yeah, it was an awesome trip. So let's run through the second hunt just a little bit.
Yeah.
We roosted these birds the night before, and there's a road that runs down similar to what I talked to on the first hunt that she shot. And so we roosted these birds, got up there before daylight, and I cracked off an owl call and a crow call, and man, I got a gobble just like right now. And we threw the decoys out and set up in this kind of it's not really a hedgerow, it's just the borrow pit row with a bunch of trees and brush and such in it. And she was to my left about 10 or 15 feet because I couldn't hide right where she was at. And she was behind a big old tree. And I cut loose a few hen calls and stuff. And then, man, a gobble once, right, just like right on your back, And man, my eyes popped up and I kind of looked over at her and she's going, he's right there. He's right there. And it was like 15 feet from her. And it
Wow.
walked across the road and out into the wheat field. And it walked out and it was drumming and spinning around and everything. And I mean, this thing's like eyeballing. It stopped one time and just looked at her, stared her down for like a minute, it seemed like. And she was good. She did not move. And it went ahead and went out there about another 15, 20 feet and stopped and was displaying, coming up to the Jake and everything. And then finally, it kind of got a little nervous. And so I whispered to her, I said, you better kill it. And then in just about 15, 20 seconds, I just put a big old bleep on the call and it poked its head up and she smoked it. So, yeah, it was very exciting. It was exciting for me, man. My whole heart was a beating. I filmed it too, and it's not real good footage, but I couldn't hardly hold the camera, because it was just sitting there shaking.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy when they gobble. I mean, if they're close to you, it goes through it cuts through you.
Oh man, there's nothing like it. It's just, yeah. I mean, I've been 10 or 15 feet, away from bull elk, bugling, and it's the same type of a thrill that you get. It's just like, wow, puts the hair up back upon your neck. But
yeah, it's kind of like mini elk hunting because it's visual. You can locate them, you can call them, and it's a lot of fun.
Right? Yeah, it's fun. It's challenging.
Okay, so I mean, what hunts do you have planned next? What are you trying to get after? Is more turkeys, different species, or?
Yeah, I'm actually on the turkey side of it. Yeah, I'm going to try to put something together to go like to Texas for my Rio. And then maybe get in the Midwest somewhere there for different species. And I want to ultimately go to Florida.
Yep.
And then
Osceola.
Yeah, Osceola. And then I'd like to go like to the Yucatan or somewhere, but I don't know.
Did you see that we just listed that our first international hunt, which was it's for a Gould's turkey in Chihuahua. So it's about 3 hour drive across the border. You can, if you're not bringing guns, you can drive your own rig, big ranch down there. Okay. So you can do DIY. Yeah, we just listed it, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
I'll check you in on that. Yeah.
Yeah, turkey hunters love LandTrust. We'll see guys that are booking 6 hunts in a row and they're just doing big loops across states and, hitting a bunch of, checking a bunch of lists.
That'd be awesome. That'd be right up our alley because we're both retired.
So. Yeah, I'm a little envious. I'm at the beginning. I've got 3 young daughters that are almost 6, 4, and 2.5. So I actually don't get to hunt a lot. That's the irony of the thing. That people think I go hunting all the time. I do not. Like once a year.
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm actually, I leave the 15th of June. I'm going to Argentina for 12 or 13 days. Water buffalo, black buck antelope, and feral goat hunting.
Wow. I didn't know they had water buffalo in Argentina.
Yeah. They
wow. That's
lots of them. Yeah.
That's awesome. I have a very good friend who did the kind of waterfowl dove last year. He said, just the food, beef and wine and great food and great hospitality. So I think you're gonna have an awesome time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that's coming up.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I guess I'd ask you if there's people who've maybe looked at LandTrust but have never used it before. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Any thoughts for them? Any recommendations?
I just get on there and maybe kind of figure out what you want to do, what you want to hunt, and where you want to hunt, and then just start clicking on the states and browsing around, and it's really easy to navigate the website and there's a lot of stuff out there to look at, and it's and the people, like with the Hasselstroms, I'll tell you what, it's so much fun, to travel and get to meet those kind of people, and the majority of their ground is just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's remarkable, the habitat and everything, and so yeah, and the pictures on the LandTrust site, those pictures are, not only theirs, but all of the pictures are. It's fun just to go through and click and look at the pictures, so you can get an idea of the country. And what I do is I get on there and I look at that, and then I flip on my Onyx, and then I go in and, check out the terrain and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I often say as hunters, we obviously, we could all just drive back roads and look at land, right? I mean, it's just kind of what we like to do, but LandTrust allows you to do that kind of digitally. You can go different states and look at properties, and then, messaging landowners directly and getting directly connected. I think a lot of people still don't understand that. Yeah, you're not talking to us. You're talking to, someone like the Hasselstroms. You see that property, you send a message with some questions, you connect directly with them, and get it sorted out. But
yeah, it's cool. It's a pretty good format. We really enjoy it. We're going to be using it. I've told all my friends, about it.
I appreciate that.
When they see my pictures and stuff, they say, "Where'd you get that?" And I just say, "Well, just go on LandTrust, check it out."
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that, Mike. It is funny, versus I was living in Montana from end of 2016 till my family and I moved down to Alabama in September. But ton of public land, and public land's an awesome resource. But private land you can actually share you can share that it's the Hasselstrom's farm. On public land you never share. You share where you killed that Tom or whatever. You're like, hey, I can't share that with you. I'm not sharing the pins. But when it's something like through LandTrust, like, hey, it's the Hasselstroms. You can, it's not open. It's open to everybody, but it's not. You have to go through them.
Yeah. Well, one thing too that I think's unique too is they don't have only just turkeys. I mean, they've got a wide variety of waterfowl and deer and elk, and it's pretty versatile.
Yeah, they do have elk. I remember they have that nice bull that's in their living room, if I remember correctly. But I think that tag's kind of hard to draw, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Tags in Idaho are getting hard to draw.
Yeah, that's how Montana is too. Yeah, totally. Well, Mike, like I said, I really appreciate you, being a customer and spreading the good word, but also coming on here and giving us a little peek at the trophy room. It's beautiful, and hopefully one day I can put one together like that. So enjoy your time in retirement with your wife, and thank you again for coming on.
We've already booked the same time frame for next year, so we already got that lined out up there.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Mike. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you bet. Appreciate it.
By the way, if you haven't, please do like, comment, subscribe, and share this podcast with your friends, your family, anybody you think might be interested, and enjoy it. It does help us continue to grow the podcast, continue having great guests on. So we really appreciate when you do it. If you're a landowner and you've been thinking about listing your land on LandTrust, just want you to know it's super easy. You can get started today for free. There's two ways you can do it. You can go to landtrust.com/landowners. On that page, we'll have a bunch of videos from landowners who've been with us for a long time talking about their experience. We have FAQs, all that good stuff. Or if you prefer, you can text or call us at 406-709-8450. We've got a team of folks who all they do is work with landowners, answer questions, build out your listings, all that good stuff. So if you're in the tractor, you got some time behind the windshield coming up, give us a call, text us, 406-709-8450. All right, folks, that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to the 5-Star Stories series here on the LandTrust podcast. And remember, if you're looking for your next great outdoor experience, you know where to find it, landtrust.com. See you next time.